Kia ora everybody, welcome and good day to our Aussie friends that have joined us from across the ditch this morning. Excuse me, I've got a frog landed on my throat. Now welcome to the next in our series of presentations through Explore Central North Island, and today we're featuring the region of Ruapehu. And I'm quite excited about this one. There's some nice developments happening. There's a bit of product change going on down there. We've got some fantastic guests joining us this morning. Joe Kennedy from Visit Ruapehu. And I look forward to a really dynamic 30 minutes with you all this morning. Just a quick roundup. I know some of you have seen this all before, but for the Explore show, we're hoping to see that happen again through the middle of next year, where we bring a range of products through to Auckland to meet with our travel trade friends. Actually, 3 of the operators who are joining us this morning have traditionally attended this event, so you'll be able to see them in the flesh, hopefully middle of next year. Explore Central North Island encompasses 8 regions, 3 touring routes, and many of New Zealand's must-dos. So I'm hoping that this is familiar to you, to a number of you, where you can help your guests get off the beaten track and holiday like a local. Good connectivity with Air New Zealand through Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch airports to many parts of the Explore Central North Island world. And just really a key message for all of you is that nowhere is far when it comes to exploring the Central North Island. Within an hour, an hour's driving, you can have some really spectacular scene changing, completely new destinations. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Jo Kennedy, who's the General Manager of Visit Ruapehu, and she's going to join us this morning. Are you there, Jo?
I'm there. Thank you very much. Morning, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen and do a bit of an intro. I'm not going to talk too long because I've got 3 stalwarts of the industry sitting here, and I'm sure that you guys will want to hear from those guys. So just really quickly, you'd think after months and months of this. Right. So just to remind you all where we are, there's a bunch of different people on the call. So I know I've just got a text from one of you who's been around in the industry for a million years saying, go Joe, go Joe. So no pressure. So yeah, basically from just north of Taumarunui up in the Timber Trail area, all the way down through National Park Village out to where we've got Dan from Blue Duck Station out at Whakahoro this morning, Ohakuni, Mount Ruapehu, Tongariro National Park, down through Wauru and the Wanganui River. So we've got a huge range of area. And some of you I spoke to a couple of weeks ago as a really high level update. And in that I just said, you know, some operators were doing okay, some were struggling a little bit. Everyone was taking bookings, everyone was staying positive. There were flexible cancellations throughout. And pricing generally was remaining the same for the coming season. So there was no issues in getting those bookings in there. And some changes in product. And these guys are going to talk a little bit about some changes that they've got in their products as well as the original products in there. So today we're going to have a little bit of a closer look at some of our key operators. We've got live appearances from Ruapehu Alpine Lifts, Forgotten World Adventures and Blue Duck Station. So we've got Dan and Ian and Travis to talk to you guys, who I'll introduce you shortly, and then hopefully we've got some time for questions, so we're going to go quite quickly through it, trying a bit of a mix of what we've got and what you know and what you don't know, so it's a little bit of a mixed bag. So I'm going to quickly cover off accommodation. I've also got a frog. Some really good news that's just come through. So Night Sky Cottage, which is pictured here. This is all trade-ready products. I'm only talking about trade-ready product and guys that are happy to work with you in the international or the domestic space. So Night Sky Cottage is pretty new, a couple of rooms in the middle, as you can see, of a bush, and they've just been awarded their gold qual mark. So they're pretty excited about that. Only a couple of rooms, but you know, it's quite good revenue. It's sort of $600-700 a night, and they're doing really well. So that's some good news. Tongariro Suites at the Rocks is their other property, and they have 4 rooms. It's all in that B&B kind of high level, traditionally international market, but they are again doing really well, and they've just received a 5-star silver qual mark rating. So some good stuff going on there. In regards to our hotels, so we've got the Chateau Tongariro Hotel in Whakapapa, we've got Powderhorn Chateau Hotel in Ohakuni, Scotel up there next to the Chateau in Whakapapa, and the Park Hotel in National Park as the key ones that have been working with trade for quite some time. All of those guys have rooms, they have rates, they're up and running. There's no significant changes in product. The Park Hotel in National Park Village has just got an upgrade on their Wi-Fi. So National Park's gone to fast Wi-Fi. So that's just an added benefit for those guys. In regards to B&B and lodges, who are very much traditional international markets. So we've got Manuka Lodge, the River Lodge, Ruapehu Country Lodge, Tongariro Crossing Lodge, Plateau Lodge. I'm going to show you a little bit about those guys, but not every single one of them. But what I am going to do is just going to flick actually to another, this is a wee double share. And this is our trade product guide. So we're in the process of updating it. So what we're going to do is whoever's on the call, and we're just going to send it out to you so that you've got a really good summary of what we've got that's trade ready and happy to work with you guys and ready to go. And we'll update it with changes. We've had a few staff changes and things, even this one as an example, the Chateau. We've got key contacts as James Yu or Ash Palmer. Both of those guys are gone, so we just need to update it. But this is basically what it looks like, and just gives you a real solid overview of what the property looks like. We'll update photos and we'll update anything that needs to be updated and all of those, and key contacts, so that will hopefully make life easy for you guys. So yeah, so that was that. And now I'm going to go back to this other share. Okay. So that's accommodation. In regards to products that we're talking about, that was the product guide that I've just shown you a sneak preview of. So I am going to get that out to you guys. If there's particular stuff you want to know, then my details are on the end of this, and also our phone numbers, and anything we can help with, we're absolutely good to go. Mountain Air is a product, they actually went away from Whakapapa Village during COVID, and they thought they were not going to be able to operate there anymore. However, they've come back because there is good interest from the domestic market. It's an awesome product, sort of between 125 and 375 bucks. They've just introduced a new product from Taupō Airport, which gives you an opportunity to sell that stuff if the winds are blowing in the wrong direction for the mountains, then they can come and go up the middle, and you still get a really good view. So really good product, still operating, very much taking bookings into the future, keeping their rates at the same for the following summer. Adrift, so Stu couldn't make it with us today. He's down south doing something out in the great outdoors. So they're very much up and running still. They've still got the same product that most of you guys already have. Pricing for the following year is set as it was at the same price. Taking bookings, ready to go. They're going out with promotion and trying to get people out there, and they're taking bookings, as I said, and everything's as it was, just ramping up as borders open or as Kiwis get out there as well. So they've got the Tongariro Alpine crossing, guided hikes. They also do a guided hike to the Ruapehu Crater Lake. They are doing sunset walks, half-day walks. They've also got the Wanganui River and bike product, so don't forget about those as well. So next I'm going to introduce you to Dan, and we're going to go off the picture. This is a picture of Dan's new stuff that's happening, so hence it'll look like it's not finished because it's not quite. But I'm going to pass on to Dan, and we've got about 5 minutes each with these guys, and then hopefully we'll have time for some questions. So I'm going to stop sharing, and Dan, we're going to go on to you, and looks a lot nicer where you are than where I am today. So over to Dan.
G'day guys, how you doing? Yep, she's not a bad day down here in the bush. It's we've had plenty of rain, but it's not raining today. Business as usual for us down here, albeit no international guests. Well, for those of you who don't know me, yes, I'm Blue Duck Station on the Wanganui River. We're the northern entrance to the Wanganui National Park and Bridge to Nowhere and bits and pieces. We're a big sheep and beef station in the bush that's diversified into tourism and honey, as well as the sheep and beef. So, yeah, diversifying things and keeping it interesting. We've got a few lodges and on the place and a cafe that I'm sitting outside of here, having a cup of coffee as I talk to you, listening to the birds, and plenty of adventures and activities out here, from horse trekking, jet boating. We do a lot of New Zealand hunting trips, hiking, mountain biking, bridge to nowhere, all that good stuff. Everything you can do out in the great New Zealand outdoors and outback. That's what Blue Duck Station's all about. Big into conservation, and yeah, we're having a good time. Actually, we were quite concerned, obviously, with most of our trade from the international side of things for the summer, but so far we've just had heaps of New Zealanders coming through, really digging deeper into New Zealand and enjoying their own country, which has been fantastic. And we found that it's quite a good reset for us, and having lower numbers but giving higher sort of customer experiences, and connecting with our guests a lot more than we're able to, say, with some of the international people. Because out here we've got a lot of iconic New Zealand products with the Wanganui River and our pretty unique sort of rainforest, bridge to nowhere, abandoned farms of the World War I settlements. This is real iconic stuff for New Zealand, and it's New Zealand history. So now the international guests aren't here so much, we're finding that Kiwis are really coming out and enjoying it, and they love the history, you know. So it means a bit more to a New Zealander, I suppose, some of the stuff than it does to some of the young Germans that we were entertaining out here. So our tourism products have changed a bit, but you know, we're not doing so many short horse treks and things like that, but we're doing many, many more history tours.
Hey Dan, sorry, just with the horse treks and things, can you just talk to the guys a little bit about so bookable product that these guys can actually buy through you, so the horse tours and that sort of stuff as well? Yeah,
no problem. So we offer horse trekking on the station. It's one of our biggest products, and it's one that people choose a lot to get out and see our hills and the views and things by horseback. We do half-day horse rides, which are our most popular, because a lot of people, that's all they can really stand if they haven't ridden horses a lot. Is a half a day on a horse is any amount. Maybe a lesson if you're less experienced, and then a short ride. But with the New Zealand guests, I suppose those of you that are doing New Zealand stuff, we're now offering multi-day rides as well, where we do a 3-day horse trek. And we've put a few of those up on the market, and every one of them has sold out. We're finding there's huge demand for the multi-day treks from people who are fit to riding, and they can either bring their own horse or use ours. And we offer a fully catered package there, including all your meals, accommodation, guides, and activities around that trek, where people arrive on, say, a Friday, do a short ride all day Saturday, maybe have a jet boat ride in the afternoon, and then another half-day ride on Sunday before they go home. We can do that midweek too for guests and things that want to come midweek. So plenty of horse trekking. There's been a bit of talk about our crazy new restaurant up the top of the ridge there, and the photo Joe was showing before was of that restaurant build. So that will be completed in January and open in January. We're not quite taking bookings for that yet, but we are penciling them in, and there's quite a long list of penciled bookings that we've got to allocate nights for. And that's going to be a 10-course degustation menu up on the back ridge, looking over all the mountains of the Central North Island. A tour, stay in some luxury cabins up there, and get up for the sunrise in the next morning, which is incredible above the mist, and come back out the next day. Is going to be the main product for that degustation chef's table at Blue Duck Station, that is called. So enjoying things. We're doing photography weekends, plenty of bridge to nowhere and river trips. Mountain bikers are starting to come through for the season. Doc are doing a lot of work on the bridge to nowhere and Kaiwhakauka Valley rides, so those are coming along really well, and we've got some good funding to do those tracks up and keep them improving. And we're seemingly going well, and we're well placed in the central North Island here, where people aren't flying overseas, but they don't mind driving from Auckland, Wellington, Tauranga, and heading our direction. So all is going really well. Yeah.
Cool, thanks, Dan. And if anyone wants to book any of that product, they can contact you. And are you putting wholesale rates out for all of that once it's all finalised?
Yeah, look, the all the Blue Duck stations all available, wholesale stuff. The Top of the World restaurant being mainly a restaurant product, where that's going to be more of a direct booking scenario, because in year one we're just really allocating nights to those that are booking in to start with. So it's not going to be a commissionable product on the food and beverage up there. But you can contact us and talk to us about booking that direct.
Cool. Very good. All right. Thanks, Dan. Next up, we've got Travis, without further ado. So Travis is the Chief Operating Officer at RAL, and might be is a new face to most of you guys from an RAL perspective. And he is there. So I'm just going to hand over to Travis to talk about Skywalker summer product, and this year the differences in that, and it's all the commissionable product and the deals and when they're coming out to you guys and wholesale, and then obviously coming up to winter as well. So Travis, go.
Kia ora tātou. Thanks for having me to talk about Mount Ruapehu. I'm here at Whakapapa this morning on a super foggy day, but we are looking forward to being reopened for summer on Saturday. So Saturday we're kicking off and running right the way through until May 2nd. So last year we would have run right the way through between our winter and summer seasons. This year, with the way obviously the market looks, we thought we'd embrace that downtime, give the place a good tickle up, and relaunch with gusto. I'm told it's going to be sunny this weekend to kick off with a bang, which is fantastic. All summer long, we're going to drop our rates down on what they were last year. So the retail rate is coming down to 39 versus 49 in 2019-2020. And the family price too was previously 135, it's now 99. So really looking to make sure that those price signals create some good energy. It's obviously the second year of Skywalker summer operations, so we're confident now that we're going to start to see some volume and word of mouth having picked up there. We have consolidated, so we're going to run 7 days a week, but we have consolidated the operating hours to 10 a.m. through 4 p.m. For us, that seems to work really well still, cognizant of the local accommodation, but also the people that do look at day trips. 10 to 4 seems to be the vigorous part of the day. And that means we can focus on the Pinnacles buffet for lunch. So we're doing a couple of sittings there. Combo price ticket there also compares really favourably to where it's at. So that's for an adult $59 for both the Skywalker and Pinnacles buffet lunch. I think the sittings are 11:30 and 1 a.m. So sitting there quite nicely. We can seat, the guys have told me, up to 140 per sitting. Really cool, looking quite positive demand-wise for this first weekend as we get going. Obviously promoting the short walks that go with all of that. So the Skyline hike is something that's great, where you have the gondola take that elevation burden out of the picture for you, and you can get up and go for a fantastic walk and see all the local peaks from the one location. And for now, that's kind of the core of the experience, really looking to focus and continue to improve what was there this year. For example, this downtime we've been working on the look and feel and the good quality sense of arrival here at the Whakapapa base area to make sure that that quality experience continues to climb. Overlaid with that, so if you've got any inquiry or business or interest in any of that, please just sing out. Super flexible across the rest of that, including still being able to consider things in the evening if it makes sense to sort of tie in and spin the gondola to put on function or group or what have you. But otherwise super flexible within the daytime as well, to welcome groups or whatever. We're quite keen to try new things and look at how we mode. Across that, in about 10 days' time, we are going to be opening a new customer care hub, so basically guest care hub, and they will be taking care of trade inquiry as well. So to be completely frank, we haven't been too hot on the phones through what has been quite a tough winter for us. Really lifting the professionalism and trade care by creating a customer contact hub, and that's going to be based out of Taupo. So there's going to be retail frontage there as well, place that the guests can come in and interact, but a stronger phone and email based care right the way through to trade. So please just sing out if we can help with anything. And that then leads through, I mentioned, to the 2nd of May will be the summer program. We will have a short amount of downtime across the month of May before we reopen around Queen's birthday for winter. And winter 2021 for us will be a return to a bit more of the norm, touch wood. COVID pending, we will be back to all lifts spinning, deeper programs. The one area we may have a little bit of a crush on is around lessons and instructions. So that is the kind of labour market shortage zone of significant concern for us. Working on several things that will hopefully overcome it. And there may well be policy things that allow us to bring in more instructors as well. But at the moment, that would probably be the risk call out to us. Otherwise, everything else sort of back to normal. We've gone fairly aggressive again in our pricing strategy for next year, particularly through the weekdays. We've created some really positive rates to try and continue to shift that paradigm. And also family packages is something we've leaned into quite heavily. So really good price breaks for 2 adults and 2 youth to be coming through. So the guys have been tickling up rates sheets and making sure that the discovery of that's all really easy for you to get your hands on. And yeah, just make an inquiry inbound and we can flick those back out to you, no problem at all. That's probably me, really.
Cool, that's awesome, Travis. That was a really good update. And just a reminder, guys, if there are questions, maybe throw them into the chat and we will get to them at the end of this. And if not, we will reply to them via email. So we just don't want to run out of time. We've got 6 minutes left, so we're doing well. And we've still got Ian. So I'm going to put up a couple of images for Ian, and then he's going to take the floor. So Ian, if you want to make a start and have a chat, and I will move through to the next slide, and then we'll go to your beautiful face.
Morning, hey, it's Ian from Forgotten World Adventures here. We operate the rail carts on the 142 kilometre mothballed railway line between the Ruapehu district and Taranaki down through the Republic of Wangwamana, and also the longest commercial jet boat ride in the Southern Hemisphere, running on the Wanganui River with the boat from Papariki up to Taumarunui. So since COVID, been a greater emphasis for us on longer tour packages. So many of you who were familiar with the 5-tunnel tour, that's now gone, and the shortest tour we now run is the 10-tunnel tour, which incorporates going to the lavender farm and gives people about a 2/3 of a day trip. Building on from there, we've increased our number of multi-day trips, and these seem to have become incredibly popular with the domestic market. As Dan said, the Forgotten World has become, or appears to be, in a bit of a sweet spot as far as domestic tourism is concerned. The reality is we've been practicing social distancing for years, and so and that's really seems to have resonated really well with the domestic market. A little bit of a split in our product. So you'll see with the change and dropping out of that 5-tunnel tour, we've got our traditional products, which were all on the website, but also what we've done is that we've created a more of a premium range of trips, which tend to be the multi-day trips. We've done a really big push domestically since September. We've pretty much been on the road continuously then, and we initially partnered with You Travel, happy to partner with any travel group, and we've been running wine and cheese evenings throughout the North Island predominantly, and are happy to do them in the South Island. You provide the wine, we provide the beer, and and whatever goes with it, and we talk about the products. We've usually, the travel agents go out to their database. We do a big push on social media, and these have been incredibly successful and have driven a huge number of bookings for us. And to add to that, and in these the multi-day trips, people have become increasingly keen to, I guess, customise their tours. And so Sophia, who is our sales and marketing head, has been putting together a huge number of bespoke packages for industry and the likes, and for larger groups. These tend to be for groups that want something a little bit different and unique. And the reality is our area is absolutely chocker with some really good offerings. We've added to our offerings things like Posh Pioneers, which is a camping site on the Donoghue River, accessed only by the river. We're doing quite a bit of work with Dan at Blue Duck, Tiawa Glamping, and a few others which have really gone down really, really well. Interestingly, a big push just in the last couple of weeks around jet boating the whole river, and so we run the boat from Papariki one day, visiting the bridge to nowhere, other points of interest up the river, and culminating in Taumarunui. And so absolutely outstanding day. Usually have to start reasonably early, 7:30, but we can have you back in Taumarunui by around about 4:35. So look, working really closely, obviously, with these other partners in our area. Clearly the other real focus is the Republic of Whangamomona. All other than the 10-tonne tours go down through the Republic. And so for some of you probably will have already marked in your diary that it's the Republic Day elections on the 23rd of January this year. Already some pretty outstanding candidates are beginning to circulate their names. I understand that potentially, and there is a little bit of a whisper that Donald Trump is potentially putting his name forward. Clearly he's out of a job, and he's pretty keen to make Wonga great again. A lot of the locals down there are suggesting it's pretty hard to improve on perfection. But so the Republic Day, also some suggest that he may well be going to build a wall. Not quite sure where that wall will be and what he's planning to keep out. Hey, but they're a really interesting time down there for the presidential elections on the 23rd of January. So hey, that's pretty much me, Joe. Happy to take any questions.
Awesome, thanks, Ian. And I think we're right on time. There was one question come through from Tom, I think, just asking about why we were down year on year because of the closure for winter months. We're sort of, it's very lumpy at the moment. So some months have been down, some months have been up, but we're also had a change in the way that we measure that through our through MB and the data that comes through the MRTAs. So, which is the card spend in region, and because everything's now gone online for our biggest operator, which is RAL, it's then it becomes hard to compare apples with apples. So yeah, it's a little bit up and down. And what we will do is we'll get out the details of who to contact at RAL, etc. Because Travis is it at the moment, but I believe that he's working on some other people to fill that role. So we'll come out to you guys and just confirm that. So that's us. I need to hand back to you, Vanessa, and we're right on time.
So Joe, thank you so much. Thanks to Ian, thanks to Dan, thanks to Travis. I have to say that was a really fantastic session. Great to see what's happening with the products down there. Nice to see some positive developments and energy coming from the region. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the summer brings for these guys. forward, jump onto the Explore Central North Island website. We've got some resources there for you, including the whole webinar series will be, videos will be uploaded. They're just getting a little bit of editing at the moment, and then they're going up online, some up already. New online resource with an online library of operator product updates will go up there too. So that's work that I'm currently undertaking with our ECNI operators at the moment. But look, we've got the webinar series continues on Friday morning, 10:30 New Zealand time, with the beautiful region of Taupo, just to the north of our friends at Ruapehu. And then we've got our last two sessions next week, being Rotorua on Monday and the Coromandel on Wednesday. Again, we're looking at trade-ready product, developments in the region, what's happening for this summer, and any news and what's ahead in those sessions for you. However, time to say ka kite anō to you all from the ECNI team, and we look forward to seeing you all again next week. My biggest thanks, of course, to Joe from Visit Ruapehu for looking after us this morning, and give us a wave, Joe. There we go, and we will be seeing you all along the way. Thanks for your time this morning.